Take your favorite songs or your favorite albums and think about what makes them great. Why do you put them in your favorites pile? To me, there's a combination of things, but especially who's behind it, like who's the singer and who produced it, and a lot of things that combine make that a great song or a great album, and that's why I put them in my favorites pile. In the past, I would go into a playlist and listen to the songs, and if I found one song that I really liked, I always had this person in my mind going through the process of making the song. So now when I listen to a song, the first thing is this AI slop. And sometimes it's this weird vocal compression that gives it away, the lyrics. But sometimes I'm like, I'm not sure, is this AI or not? And that's when a pro AI user would say, gotcha, you didn't know it was AI, so if you listen to a song and it's good, it's good. Well, no. Because remember that favorite songs and albums pile, that song will never go into that pile because there's no one really that played the instruments, there's no one that sang, there's no one that produced the song because it was all generated. It's like buying food in the supermarket, put it into the microwave. I'm a great chef, like I cooked this food for you, and well, you just heat it on the microwave. That song that I'm not sure about, and maybe it sounds good, it's just a technical blob of information, of sound waves that sound good. Nobody made that. And especially not the person who put the prompt, because that's just like searching on a database. Like you're not creating anything. You're just getting information out from like a glorified database of sound waves and putting that together and just, hey, yeah, this is my song. That's not your song. It's just pulling this average sound wave based on what you said and based on what it was trained. What it was trained is a key here. My point is that AI will never make my next favorite song. And that's because AI takes away the creative process. And the creative process is what I like about music. For the past 15 years, I've been working as an iOS developer. And obviously, I tried AI coding. And I get it. If you're an artist, you may be thinking, well, then why are you making this video? Well, I have to be honest. Sometimes I feel in conflict with myself because of that fact. But if you put aside all the things about water consumption and all of that, I think AI coding is very different from generative AI for music or arts. Let me explain. Most of the code, like 90% of the code you make during your career, is going to be iterations of the same thing. And we're not talking about like NASA code or something that has to be on a rocket. We're talking about an iOS application that has a lot of components and things that repeat over and over again. They are all the same thing. Like, I don't know how many times I made an app that looks like Instagram. It makes sense that in this situation, AI will work. 90% of the job is about repeating what you have already done before or what's in the documentation. And the last 10% is making it look good or making animations and making it look customized to your client. And that's where I draw the line, because when you want to evoke an emotion, when you want to do something that looks different, you need novelty, and AI cannot do novelty, cannot create new things. They will do things that are already there in just a small tweakings. AI cannot create something new. I get it. Some people, you say this and they're like, no, but it will create something new, because in a way it does combine things that never existed before, like a word with the combination of a chord. As a thought experiment, imagine a world where nobody ever used a delay on a vocal, or delay didn't exist. Would this AI create a vocal with delays? Like, it's just impossible. It will just create what was trained on. And so it will never create a delay on the vocal chain. That's my point. It will never create something truly new. It's just always just sound waves put together based on what it was trained on or stolen from. So going back to the database analogy and the sound waves, that's why this kind of music is being used in restaurants and shops, or maybe ads, because it's just cheaper and it's just a utility music. And I kind of get it, like if you're a business owner, like it's just cheaper to do that, and you have to pay any licenses and things like that. So I get it. The problem is that these AI slot machines have taken data illegally. So yeah, And that brings me to the next point, which is that AI narrows our thinking and narrows our vision. And with art, it will narrow our way of thinking about art because it's giving you an average response based on the data that it has. And you don't want that in music, but you may want that in coding. So that's the problem of AI, that narrows our responses to a specific point of view. Using chatbots leaves you with the most common answer to a question, which limits thinking out of the box and having your own ideas. And that's the reason why it doesn't work for art. So that brings me to creativity, and you don't need AI for creativity. So I believe AI is already changing how humans make music. I'm sure you've already seen patterns on AI writing. You see it everywhere now with M dashes, the rule of three. It's not X, it's Y, things like that, that it's everywhere. If you're a writer and you use those kind of patterns in the past, now you may not want to use them anymore, because if you use too many M dashes, people may think, oh, that's AI. So I think that will happen as well with music, and it's already happening. Jack Conte from Pomplamoose, he started becoming more aware of being more original and also realizing that AI cannot create his next song.
WasabiNoise says, "Hi Pomplamoose, given all that is going on with AI, are you approaching music creation in a different way to stand out against the noise?"
It could create songs that sound very similar to what he has done in the past if you train an AI to do that.
It has made me less interested in optimizing to make things that other people will like and that the music that should be made, and much more interested in full, true self-expression.
He was already aware of those things and then went an extra mile or thought things in a different way. Well, I'm not in his mind, but I'm feeling that as well now. I felt a bit sad because some of the genres that I did in the past are very, very specific, like lo-fi or synthwave. So it's hard to go into one genre like that is very, very narrow in some cases, and do something really original out of the box that's like, yeah, it cannot be done by AI. Maybe it's a skill problem, I'm not denying that. If I have to do something on those genres, it will be very difficult to do something like very, very clearly not AI. I can't believe I'm saying that out loud. I'm not going to use AI at any point, but I don't want to be misrepresented. Also, this video works as a statement for this channel that I'm not going to use Gen AI for anything, unless I really specify it for any reason, like showing an example or something. But I don't want to use this Gen AI for music, for creating videos or anything. I learned how to use cameras, how to use lights, how to use everything, and I want to use them, but I know that now even having a good image might be his AI or something like that. But I acquired this knowledge and this expertise, and I just want to, I don't know, I don't want to throw it away. But I promise I won't sneak any AI-generated stuff on my videos unless I specify it for some reason. I don't know what reason that would be, but keeping the door open in case, I don't know, I just want to show you some examples. Okay, so what's the point of the video? I'm always interested in knowing how somebody produced a song in a certain way. I've always been fascinated by that, and that's what makes music great. And if you take that away, then it's just a utility thing that you put on restaurants. It's just like fast food or heating something in the microwave. It might sound good, but it will never go into my pile of great songs. Well, I have nothing to sell, no courses or anything, so if you want, check out my music down in the description. Let me know in the comments what you think about this topic. I hope it doesn't get in your head and you can get creative and make your music. You're doing great. See you on the next one.